All right, we got a quad pack French drain grid. I wanted to show you this. That hill behind the house, there's a neighborhood up there. So this always sets up the home down here for additional water. This is pretty flat, so the water's having a hard time finding its way. There's some pitch. We have pitch, but you're asking water on its own to try to get through a tightly knitted bluegrass here in the north and find its way through this little opening. It's just not going to happen. You know, even in a perfect world, the only way that will happen on a parking lot, an asphalt or concrete surface, never turf grass. So we're real low in here and flat. It's all level. There's some pitch. Now we're going to get all this water that's been a problem in this area. We're going to get that water to drop down into this quad pack, and then the water is going to travel through the bottom pipes, and it's going to come right to this dual wall. That's dual wall, Buffman 4-inch dual wall culvert pipe. Super strong, and you don't have to worry about the trees. They're not going to be able to penetrate that. So we're going to go right into that dual wall out to the front as a discharge. We're giving the water a direct route through stone. Water moves through stone really, really well. It's not like hanging around on this surface above ground here. It's hanging around in this turf grass. It's struggling. It's not going to find its way. So when water doesn't find its way out, what happens? It makes your ground soft. It makes it spongy. So you just want to get that water that's coming off that hill, and whatever water falls in this yard, you want to get it right into these quad packs, and it's going to travel through this system out to the front yard. That's why you see us do so many French drain grids. And let me tell you something. I'll come back here next year in the spring when it's wet and nasty and horrible, and this will be as solid as a parking lot. We are installing a stone French drain, or gravel drain. That's the catch basin we cored through the sidewall and connected to. This is a French drain grid. This entire area was completely saturated. It's really flat. And if you tried to run just a single pipe through here, it would only have firmed up the ground in one location. When you have an area like this, we do a lot of these, but this is the first time I did a video on the anatomy of one. Wanted to show you a couple of things. So you're going to need a lot of T's as far as connectors with a system like this. And then when you're shopping and you're ordering your parts, that is known as a cross T. So that's what it's called. It's called a cross T. So you're going to need the cross T's for the intersections. You have to go under the sprinkler pipes. It's okay to put the pipe right on the fabric. When you're using fabric, when you're using geotextile, non-woven drainage fabric, you can set the pipe right on it. The guys that aren't using a geotextile fabric, they have to put stone down first. You can't just set the pipe down on the dirt. That's going to be a problem. So we have 4 pipes running in this direction, and then it's made up of 3 pipes in this direction. They all end up going to that storm drain catch basin. Basically, what happened here, all this beautiful landscape for privacy, and the water can't get out. So the green belt just ended up soaked and saturated. Hard for the guys to maintain it who mow the grass. We talk about cutting the fabric so that you're not overlapping it. You just want a couple inches overlap. The guys already did that. They cut the fabric. It's ready to go. They cut it and pinned it back. Here's our scrap pile. So once they put the stone in, they'll be able to just take the pins that are holding the fabric back and do the stitch over the gravel. Notice how there's no inlet basins. Why are there no inlet basins? Because you don't need any. They just end up filling the system with contamination. When you have bark mulch and grass blades, just all this organic material that just turns into, well, it turns into a great topsoil or planters mix, but don't work well when it's in your pipe. This is a fully contained system that we build. As you can see in our previous videos, the way we put the stone in, we pin back the fabric, and then we just put the sod down with just 2.5 inches of root, and the water runs right through this. This is basically like having channel drains all throughout the yard, but without the unsightly channel drains. So to put an inlet drain in the system would be pointless. It's taking in water. This system here was designed to take in surface water as well as take care of the subsoil water and firm up this yard. So no inlet basins, as you can see. The guys that are using inlet basins, it's because they build really lousy systems. They're telling you, well, this will take care of the subsurface water. Well, what about the surface water? As you can see, the way this landscape was, all bermed around here, before we tunneled under the fence to that storm drain catch basin, you needed a way to get the surface water the heck out of here. So they're going to put a couple inlet basins. That doesn't work that great. And then they're just going to contaminate the whole system. Now 1/3 of our installs, so 1 out of 3, and that's pretty high statistic. we're replacing a failed system. Now this is pinhole. I've covered it in previous videos. I'm not going to blame the failure on the pipe. I don't like the pipe just because it doesn't move the water as fast as I want to move the water. I think this pipe has its place, but I don't feel that this is a good pipe for a residential job. I can see why the farmers use it. I would use knife cut over pinhole, but what happened was they put this pipe in the ground and they put a little bit of stone and they didn't wrap it with geofabric. They did not use a geotextile, non-woven filter fabric, and the system quit. And what's unfortunate is the homeowner paid to have this service provided. They needed yard drainage. Somebody comes in here, cuts corners, they don't put in enough stone, they don't put in any geofabric, and here's the result. For a stone French drain, done right the first time, in southeastern Michigan, give us a call.